I would like to complete all the topics as early as possible so that you get maximum days to practice. I'll first take the concept of insurance. Here, yeah, you need to remember that uh, the claim is a percentage of the property value that has been insured. So I can say claim is loss into policy. I'll first take up the insurance part. Claim is loss into policy value upon property value. Now that means whatever be the percentage of property that has been insured, the same proportion of loss would be compensated. If you are insuring your property to 80% of its worth, the loss would be compensated to 80% of its worth. If you are insuring the property to 50% of its worth, loss would be compensated to 50% of its worth. This is claim. Claim is loss into policy value upon property value. Next, remember the policy value, when I take a policy, it is always on the property value. That means policy value is some percentage of the property. So if I buy a car, if the car is worth 4 lakh rupees, then I'll be paying some percentage of it as the, I'll take a policy of some percentage of the car. So policy value is some percentage of the property value. It is X% of property value. And premium is always charged on the policy value. That means if I am uh, taking a policy worth 3,50,000 for my car worth 4 lakh rupees, I would be charged premium based on the policy, not on the property value. So premium is some percentage of policy value. Next, policy value premium, then agent's commission is always on the premium. Is some percentage of the premium paid. In case of marine insurance, usually the entire cargo along with the insurance is the premium amount is insured. That means even the premium amount is insured. This is done usually when the value of the consignment is too big and the insurance associated with it is also quite reasonably high. Now, having said all this, we start with the problems pertaining to the first and the second exercise. Sorry, the first exercise, that is insurance. Now, I start with the first one. A shop and a go down worth rupees 1 lakh and 2 lakh were insured through an agent. Shop and a go down. So, shop and a go down worth rupees 1 lakh and 2 lakh. That means the property value of the shop is 1 lakh and the property value of the go down is 2 lakhs. They were insured through an agent who was paid 12% of the total premium. So agent was paid 12% of the premium. Shop was insured for 80%. That means the policy value of the shop was 80% of the property value. And the go down for 60% of its value. So policy value of go down is 60% of 2 lakhs. So it is 1,20,000. Find the agent's commission. Given that the rate of premium was 0.8%, less 20%. Now here, this is policy value, this is property value. The shop was insured for this and the agent was paid 12% of the total premium. Now, premium is always charged on the policy value. Now, total policy value is 1,20,000 plus 80,000, that is 2 lakh. Here it is about the policy value, so I can take it together. Agent's commission was given that the rate of premium was 0.8% less 20%. It was 0.8% less 20%. So that means the premium is 0.8% minus 20% discount on it. So 0.8% less 20%. So 0.8% minus 20% discount on 0.8%. So I can say when I take 0.8% common, it would be 80% of 0.8%. So it would be less 20%. So it would be 80% into 0.8 by 100. So this would be 64 upon 1234 and of the policy value. So this into, so for every 10,000 rupees he is paying 64 rupees into policy value would be 2 lakh. So it would be 128.0. This is the premium paid, 1280, and agent was paid 12% of the total premium. Agent's commission equal to 12% of total premium. So it is 12% of 1280. It would be 12 into 128, 8 to 16, 1 carry over, 2 to 4 plus 8, 12 plus 1, 13, 1 carry over, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, 5. That's a mistake. 20, 8 to the 16, 1 carry over, 2 to 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 1, 13. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, 5. 0 plus 1 is 1536. 1536. Just check whether the answer is 153.6.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the answer is 153.6. If you have any doubt, do let me know. I am doing it quick because I just want you to have a solution of all the questions. The second one. The rate of premium is 2% and other expenses are 0.075%. A cargo worth 3,50,000 is to be insured so that in case of loss, the total value and the cost of insurance both should be recovered. Now, value of cargo equal to rupees 3,50,100. The rate of premium and other expenses. So this is the value of the cargo. Premium is 2%. Other expenses is 0.075. So total equal to 2.075%. In case of loss, now premium is 2.7075. So if my property is worth if my policy, now premium is always on the policy. If the policy is rupees or is of rupees 100, premium would be 2.075. This is 2.075%. Premium equal to 2.075 rupees. Now, yeah.
The premium is 2%. Now, why are we included at 0.75? 0.075.
See, premium is 2% and other expenses means that is also included in the premium itself, the premium charges. That means,
Okay.
so totally you are paying 2.075 rupees for every 100 rupees that you are insuring.
Means that 0.075 is also the premium.
Yes, that is not the premium, but that is the other inclusive charges. That means right now, earlier LIC never used to charge any GST on the premiums paid. Life insurance, you are not supposed to pay premium. But now, when you pay the premium, they charge even GST on it. They charge charges on it. So it is not ideally right, but they are charging. For example, if I am paying a premium of 12,000 rupees, on that they'll charge 3,000 extra, 2,500 rupees extra for the GST and other expenses. That is not correct, but they are doing it right now. So policy, if it is 100 rupees, then the premium is 2.075. In short, if I am going to insure a product worth rupees 100, I have to pay 2.075 as charges. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here this is inclusive of it. Now that means now what if I am insuring this for 100 rupees, I have to pay 2.075. But this pen should be worth less than 100 rupees so that I am getting the insurance charges as well as the property charge. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes.
See, this is worth some amount, but I say it is I have taken a policy of 100 rupees on this, so I'll be getting 100 rupees if this is damaged completely. Followed?
Yes.
Now to insure this, I'm paying 2.075. Followed? So my property price should have been 2.075 less than my policy value, so that I get the policy property value as well as the premium, that is 100 rupees.
Yes, sir.
So property value is 100 minus 2.075. That means it is 97.925 when policy value is rupees 100. Followed? So that if this is damaged completely, I'll get this plus this. That is, I'll get this amount. Next. This is property value is 97.925, then policy value is rupees 100. Now, therefore, if the property value now is worth rupees 3,50,100, what would be the policy value? So policy value equal to 350,100 into 100 upon 97,925 into 1000. Can someone do it on the calculator and tell me? It should be roughly 3,60,000 or 3,70,000, something like that. So that this is divisible by this. This should be divisible by this. Can someone divide and tell me what would be the answer? Anyone there who has a calculator at home, who has a calculator on the computer, or who has a calculator on the mobile phone? Anyone there?
So it's coming in decimals.
Decimals.
Yes, sir.
I think they have made a mistake here. It should have been 92.75. Divide by 9725 and see what is, and this should have been not 350,100. Yeah. What is the answer given behind? Tell me that.
Behind, I don't.
So
Yes, Priti, what is the answer given behind?
3,57,518.5090.
I
Yes,
got
so
it.
that's correct.
Yeah, 3 lakh what?
3,57,518.5090.
Okay, that is the answer given behind. My God. You can first divide this with 25 and then do the calculation. Next, I'll take log calculations when I'm done with all these topics. A merchant takes fire insurance policy to cover 80% of the value of his stock. He takes fire insurance policy to cover 80%. That means his policy value is 80% of his property value. is 80% of property value. So he, in case of loss, he'll be getting 80% of whatever he had lost. Stock worth rupees 80,000 was completely gutted, while the rest of the stock was reduced to 20% of its value. Now these wordings are very important. Stock worth 80,000 was completely destroyed. So direct loss is equal to 80,000. Rest of stock. So let us say, let X be the property value. Direct loss is 80,000. Now there are two ways to do it. We can say let A be the amount of the property which has been gutted, reduced to 20%, or we can say X minus 80,000 plus something has been lost. Now better I'll say let A be property value which has been destroyed partially. Second and fourth question are the same. By mistake, I think they have given the same question twice. Second and fourth question are the same. Here, let A be the property value which has been destroyed partially. Now, the stock was reduced to 20% of its value, means reduced to 20%. That means now it has only 20% is left. So, loss is, indirect loss is 80% of the value. It has been reduced to 20%. So, indirect loss reduced to 20%. It is not reduced by 20%, it is reduced to 20%. So reduced to 20% means it is 80% of the 80% of A. Now here this is direct loss, this is indirect loss. Together when you add,
So we can write X minus 80,000 also, right, in place of A.
yes, you can write X minus 80,000 also. Yes. Now here the total loss equal to 80,000 plus 80% of A, where A is the property value of the partially destroyed property. So total loss is this. Now compensation claim is equal to loss into policy value upon property value. I know from the first one that I am going to get compensated to the extent of 80%. So this upon this is 80%. So this is 80 upon 100. Loss is 80,000 plus 80 upon 100A, and claim is 67,200. So this is 67,000 this. Now this is 24s are 25s are. When I divide it, I'll be getting 4. This would be 4 16s are 64, 3 2, 16,800 equal to 80,000 plus 4/5 of A into 5. When I take this over here, this would become 16 into 5, that is 84,000 is equal to 80,000 plus 4 upon 5A. This would be 4,000 equal to 4 upon 5A. So this would be 1,000. So A is what? 5,000. Now, I think there is a mistake here. It should have not been reduced to 20%. It should have been reduced by 20%. In that case, I think we get the answer given behind. That is 1 lakh, right? What is the answer given behind?
So 85,000.
Actually, 85,000. Then it is all right. Okay. In the textbook, it is 1 lakh. So this would be A equal to rupees 5,000. So this is the property lost indirectly. So indirect loss. Now, therefore, property value which has been indirectly lost. Therefore, total value is equal to 80 plus 5,000. Now, they are deliberately given it in this way. In the textbook, they have, I think, changed the answer to 1 lakh, if I am not mistaken. Yeah. 85,000, right, Smriti? That is the answer given behind?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A 35-year-old person takes a policy of 1 lakh rupee for a period of 20 years. A 35-year-old person takes a policy. That means if he dies, he'll get 1 lakh, his nominee would get 1 lakh rupees. He has taken it for 20 years. The rate of premium is rupees 76. Every year he is paying rupees 76 per thousand. So for every 1,000 rupees of policy that he is holding, he is paying 76 rupees. And the average rate of bonus is 7 rupees per thousand per annum. He dies after paying 10 premiums. What amount will his nominee receive? Now the nominee would receive the total policy amount as well as the bonus. The premiums won't be available. So your bonus equal to 7 per thousand per annum. So 7 per thousand into he's bought a policy of 1 lakh rupee, and therefore bonus in 7 years. This is bonus per annum. So bonus in 7 years equal to this, and this gets cancelled. 700 into 7 is 4,900. This is the bonus in 7 years. Oh, sorry, bonus in 10 years would be 7,000. Apart from this, the policy value is rupees 1 lakh. So he'll be getting bonus for 10 years plus policy value. Nominee gets amount nominee receives equal to policy value plus bonus. So 1 lakh plus 7,000. So it is 1 lakh 7,000.
Sir, it's correct.
Right?
So that 76 thing is just additional information, right?
Yeah, that is just to fool us. Find the annuity, this is sinking fund, what amount should be a company sets to yes. So we come to activity. Now, activity property value is rupees 12,50,000. Rate of premium is 3%. Property is fully insured. Then the policy value is same as the property value. So policy value equal to property value equal to 12,50,000. Now premium would be 3% of the policy value. So it is 3% of 12,50,000. So it is 30. is 3% of 12,50,000. So it is 37,500. Then second case is where property is insured to 80%. So policy value is 80% of property value. Now it is 80% of 12,50,000. It would be rupees 10 lakh. Now premium is 3% of 10 lakh. So it is 30,000 rupees. Second question. Policy value is rupees 80,000. Period of policy is 20 years. Amount of money paid in 10 years. What period of amount of money paid in 10 years? How can we find that? Annualized average rate per bonus, average rate of bonus is 20 rupees 20 per thousand. So bonus is 20 per thousand of 80,000. Now that would be 1,600 rupees per annum. So bonus in 10 years is equal to 16,000. Now amount of money invested not applicable because it can be any amount, it doesn't matter. So bonus in 10 years, total amount after 10 years would be 80,000 rupees that we get plus the bonus. So it would be 96,000. Is it correct?
So activity answer is not given behind.
Okay. I'll just quickly give you the formula for annuity and then I'll call it a day. So as far as annuity is concerned, tomorrow I'll take annuity further from there. As far as annuity is concerned, you need to remember that there are two types of annuity in general that we deal with. One is where the payment starts. Annuity is what? Regular installments. So you have to pay it on that particular date and you have to pay the same amount on that particular date. Now, as far as annuity is concerned, if you pay at the start, now there is a confusion. One is annuity regular and the other is annuity immediate, or you, I think for you, annuity immediate and annuity due are same, right? For your book, it is same, I guess. And annuity regular is the other type, right? I don't have a textbook right now. For your book, I guess they have mentioned annuity immediate and due as same. Actually speaking, annuity due means it is due right now, and annuity immediate means in the immediate future. That
So
is
it is
how.
given different.
Okay. Annuity immediate and annuity due are given different.
Yes, sir. And
One sec, hold on.
there's regular is not there.
Regular is not there. Okay. So here annuity due and so in the CAFC book it is given differently. It is given as immediate and due are considered to be one, and annuity regular is different. Now here annuity due means today it is due, and annuity immediate means in the near future. So this is the regular one, the general one which we use, where the payment begins at the end of the first month. It doesn't begin at the start. So payment begins at the end. And here payment begins at the start. Begins at the start. Only the terms are different. The formula remains the same. Now here annuity immediate. When I say annuity immediate, first formula to deal with is A, that is the future value, the accumulated value. A is the accumulated value, that is equal to C upon I into 1 plus I raised to n minus 1, where C is the annuity amount, the installment amount that you are paying, annuity amount. I is R upon 100 into number of compoundings per annum. And N is number of compoundings per annum into number of years. Into number of years. This is the formula for A. Next, what is P? Same formula, divide by 1 plus I raised to n. So P is C upon I. This is 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 upon 1 plus I raised to n. This is P. Then remember, 1 upon P minus 1 upon A equal to I upon C. I is R upon 100 into number of compoundings per annum. 1 upon P minus 1 upon A equal to I upon C. Also remember, A equal to P into 1 plus I raised to N. So these are the formulae that you need to by heart. Now the only difference between this and payment due right now is that wherever you get C, multiply that with 1 plus I. So your A would be C into 1 plus I upon I, and your this one is the same, 1 plus I raised to n minus 1. Now as far as your book is concerned, maybe they would have taken 1 minus 1 plus I raised to minus n. So here P would be C upon I into 1 plus I, and this would be 1 minus 1 plus I raised to minus n. This is same as this. Then 1 upon P minus 1 upon A equal to I upon C into 1 plus I. So these are the formulae that you have to by heart. Once you know these formulae, we can solve annuity problems easily. So with this, I put an end to today's lecture. If you have any doubts, stay back in the conference. Others can leave. Have a nice day. If you have any doubts, stay back in the conference. Anyone who has a doubt, stay back in the conference. Others can leave. Praga, do you have any doubt?